Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today's an exciting day here at Prime AC and Heat. We're going to be installing Amana's new S-Series high efficiency comfort systems. One of our customers decided to go with this option because it is packed full of features. It has variable speed compressors, has quiet operations, and has amazing humidity control. So tag along with us today. Let's get this day started.
Here in our local training facility, we have an S-Series as well as the Cube. And this is where our technicians come and learn how to install, maintain, and service all of Amana's comfort systems.
So right before we load it all up, we're going to double check that everything has been pulled and staged correctly. So let's take a look. Okay, so the very first thing I'm looking for is going to be the outdoor condenser unit. Now don't let your eyes be fooled. This is not your typical cubed air conditioning unit, and that's what makes the Amana S-Series so special. They're small, compact, but they're super efficient. We got the furnace, we got the coil, we got all the materials, the drain pan, we got the hung right. This is a device that we installed in the attic, and that's what holds everything up there nice and level, and it really does help with the vibration noise to a very minimum. We also have Amana's brand new Wi-Fi smart thermostat. That's what ties everything together. Everything seems to be here, looks good, so let's load it up and let's continue on to the job site. Everything's nice and strapped, so we're headed off to the job site. Go and get it installed. Alright, so we made it to the job site, and we got our guys already starting to remove the old unit. But before they fully take it apart, I wanted to give you a glimpse of what's currently here so that we can get a really good before and after. So let's take a look what's going on. So what we currently have here is a 13-year-old unit that we're going to be removing out. We got a gas furnace, evaporator coil, some plenums. It's a little bit about what we're going to be doing here to make this unit much more efficient and just a little better install. One thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove all of these straps here. These straps put a lot more stress on these units because they're just bolted on here with regular screws. The hung right kit that we're going to be installing actually will bolt to the rafters, and like we talked about today, is going to help remove a lot of the vibration noise and really keep the unit nice and level. The other things we're going to do is we're going to match the plenums correctly to the furnace. So as you can see, this unit here has about a 2-inch gap right here, and that's 2 inches of air that's just being blocked off from that unit. So the new plenum is going to be fully matched out to the furnace, which will help improve the airflow going through the actual unit itself. We're going to be redoing the, as you can see, the drain pan. We're going to be redoing all the drain lines, and then we're going to be replacing the supply plenum as well, where all the duct work is going to be connected. So I can't wait for the end result. It's going to look night and day different here, and stay tuned as we continue on with the installation today. All right, so this is what's currently here, and we cannot wait. We're excited to see what that new Amana S-Series system is going to look like. I know our guys are going to be working very hard throughout the whole day, and we're going to continue to include you throughout the day, showing you the process, and stay tuned for that. So,
All right, here's the old unit. As you can tell, we have to completely disassemble it. There's no way of lifting that whole thing out of there with that small of a clearance. Alright guys, we're back in the attic, and as you can tell, no more old unit. Everything's out of here, ready to go. We have our flue pipe here. We did have to section off a little bit of the foam just to give it the proper clearance, but all the ductwork is nice and labeled. As you can tell, no more hanging strap. Okay, so what we got to do next is install our hung right kit. Let's watch our guys do it. You can tell, the unit is coming along nicely. We have the leveling gravel and a very sturdy concrete pad. We already replaced the disconnect. We're going in and installing a brand new surge protector. This is going to take care of any kind of power surges or brownouts that the unit might experience, giving it worry-free operation. Right now he's setting up the tubing bender, and basically what he's doing is getting a nice even trajectory of the copper, that we don't have any kinks. Get the proper flow of the refrigerant through there. That's getting ready to braze. As you can tell, we have our nitrogen hooked up here. It's set to braze. Basically, we're feeding nitrogen inside of the copper tubing, and this prevents the oxidation, any kind of buildup inside, clogging up TXVs or any kind of filter line dryers. This is a must-do in every install that we do.
All right, halfway through, and our guys have been working really hard all morning to get these units set up and prepped. So right now they got the hung right kit installed, they got the furnace, they got the plenums, they got the evaporator coil. Juan over here is working really hard managing the team and making sure that everything is sealed and taped and mastic, and we want to make sure that the unit is as air sealed tight as possible. One of the things I want to touch up here is Juan right now is working on the copper, and as you can see, we got a liquid line dryer that's installed up here, and the copper is going to come over the coil, which is going to create an inverter loop, and that is very critical for all of our variable speed systems out there. Also, this coil here has an expansion valve, electronic expansion valve, also known as an EE valve, and that's really important to help regulate and feed that coil, which will make these units super efficient. So far everything's coming along really good. Very happy. Juan, you're doing a great job. So stay tuned as we continue to embark throughout the whole day and see how this comes along. All right, so we just finished up the installation up here in the attic, and it came out amazing. I want to talk to y'all a little bit more about all the features that we included in this particular installation, so tag along and let's take a look. One of the first features I want to talk about is the Aprilaire media filter. This is a hospital grade filtration system that we install in all of our air conditioning and heating installations. It's a really great filter that catches a lot of small particulates in the air, keeps the house nice and clean and the air that we breathe, and it lasts around 6 months, which is perfect because a lot of our Prime Advantage members that have the maintenance with us, this filter is included, so we're out to your home every 6 months and we're changing it out. So the very next thing I want to talk about is the furnace, and here it is. So the furnace is sitting here on top of the hung right kit. It's nice and level, it's sturdy. The furnace is what heats the home. It also has the blower, which is what moves the air, and it's also part of the air conditioning system. So this part is very important that gets installed nice and leveled. And I couldn't be happier. Our guys also went ahead and upgraded all the gas piping. So we have hard piping coming out of the furnace into our sediment trap, and then we replaced the gas flex line. All right, the next part is the evaporative coil. This is what's attached to your outdoor condenser unit. So it's very important that this part is also installed properly for maximum efficiency and performance. And like we talked earlier, we want to have our inverter loop refrigerant line. That means we want to have a loop on top of the evaporative coil. That's going to really help on these variable speed units. This is also where the expansion valve is stored in here. That's why this particular unit has all of these cables on the side. It's an electronic expansion valve, again, that monitors and regulates how much refrigerant that evaporator coil is taking. The next thing I want to talk about, which is one of the most overlooked things here, is the drain pan. The drain pan is a item that collects the water in case your evaporator coil freezes over, or if your primary or secondary drain lines back up. The water has nowhere else to go, so we want it to be caught on that secondary drain pan and not on your ceiling. Here at Prime AC and Heat, we install a drain pan. We redo all the drains to ensure that water really never makes it there in case of an emergency. We also include some drain shutoff switches, and that's in case water ever builds up in the pan or inside of this P-trap here. That's going to shut off the air conditioner, which produces the condensate, and thus shutting off the unit. And hopefully we make it here before it makes it down to the ceiling. And the last thing we want to talk about here is going to be the supply plenum. And I know Brett spoke to y'all earlier in the day, and he showed you that we were going to be installing some manual dampers, and that's going to really help regulate the airflow for this particular zone. All of the dampers that we installed are nice and masticed and sealed, and all the levers for the dampers are located right here. So if we ever need a particular duct or a particular zone to be adjusted, all we have to do is come up here and adjust that lever to increase or decrease the airflow to that particular zone. All right, so we just wrapped up today. Hey, we want to thank y'all for being part of this process with us. We hope that you enjoyed it and you got to see some of the amazing features the new Amana S-Series variable speed system has to offer. You know, Prime AC and Heat, we're a local family owned and operated business, so if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth or Denton area and need any kind of HVAC assistance, give us a call.